Hey guys, I'm gonna post this low quality tutorial where I show you how to make a custom biome. Let's get it started, I guess. I wanted to make this ASAP as soon as I figured out because I think it's important to know. Uh, yeah, I might make a high quality video at a later date, but not today. Hello, this is my tutorial on how to add a custom biome to Hytale. I'm making this video without a script and likely minimal editing software usage, so let's get this going. We're gonna make something, I don't want to say similar, but like this, right? So how you start with making a custom biome, right? What you have to do is, well, first of all, op yourself like that. Go into the asset editor, create a brand new mod. I'll name it Big City Fragment. Right? I cannot, right? Couple 86. Okay. Once you have it existing, you have to go to the world save file, right? Like right here, big city, mods, make your way to here, and then what you want to do is in a different window, open up the Hytale folder, go to install, release, package, followed by game, and then latest. Then you'll find this asset zip. Uh, Open it up, you can either extract it, or I'm going to open it up in WinRAR. That way it's a bit faster. Alright, once you're in here, go to server, and then instances, basic. Basic's a good start. You want to copy this folder, so I will copy files to clipboard. I will go into server folder, instances, and I will give this a custom name. Let's say not Bug City, Big City. And I will paste that real quickly. I'm going to move those out. So now when you tap into Big City, we have our resources and our instance. Now what we're going to do is open up the instance as inside of any sort of text editor. I personally use Notepad++. Alright, if we look here, we have this world structure basic. But for the time being, let's test to see if this works. If we go into our creative tools and then instances, if I scroll to the bottom, you will see Big City. Ignore these two, they're from mods I have. Big City, right? If we hit spawn, it'll bring us to the basic biome, which this is what Hytale's basic biome looks like. If you're curious, by biome I mean world structure. Anyways, let us continue. So now what we have to do is, luckily the rest of it is inside the asset editor only, from what I remember. So we have to first start by creating a world structure asset, right? We will name this, I guess, Big City Structure. Alright, then what you can do is go into Hytale, search up Hytale generator. Sorry, I'm trying to find world structure asset inside a Hytale generator. If you click onto basic, copy it, paste it here, apply changes. So what we have to do now is create a brand new biome to replace this. But first, before I forget, what you have to do is inside of here, where it says world structure basic, replace it with the unique ID for this world structure you just made. For instance, mine is big city structure, so I will put big city structure here. And now what we have to do is create the new biome. So inside here, biome asset. I would suggest copying a pre-existing asset, and what I'm going to do is go to Hytale, Hytale generator, go into examples and pick example prop. This one's my favorite. I will call this big city biome. Right? And now if I go back into here, inside the big city structure, for the type I put, or no, wrong place, no, discard. Inside of here, default biome, you put big city biome. Apply changes, and then if we create a new one of the instances here, big city, you will see that the world generation is now different. This is what the prop example looks like. So now we're able to freely customize our biome, and I'll show you how. So I'm going to go into the asset node editor. Before you do anything, real quickly, locate where your biome is stored, like right here. I'll copy that. File, open, copy it, open it up. You might get this error, but it doesn't really bother. Okay, so this is the Hytale node map creation system right here. So what we can do is, if you, let us quit the main menu, go back to worlds and reload the world, and hopefully that should fix it. Apologies if you hear any background audio, might I add. I'll go to map, or not map, oh. I will go to instances, big city. Let's try this one more time. Oh, there we go. Alright, so it seems you have to reload the world once. Alright, viewport radius of 4. And now whenever you make a change here, like changing this to rock, stone, you save it, boom. So now what we can do is first determine our ground, which I will do soil grass. Bright red for some reason. I know how to change that. Wrong button. Soil grass, right? But the real fun comes over here. So this is where props are generated. So to begin with, what we can do is determine our ground right here, because that's added to the directionality. So if we put soil grass, you will see that not much happens just yet, because we need to go down here to our block mask. And what this does is it's like you're able to use it to make it to where the props only replace blocks rather than add blocks, but we don't it's unlikely you want that. So now our props here are generating on the surface. And you're able to freely change these props to be any prefab. So for instance, I'm going to make it to where it's cacti, full cacti. So I will copy over the path into this weighted path right here. So I will have plants, cacti, full, I believe. Let's see. Yep. As we can see here, there's cacti. They are one block up. I don't know the exact way to fix that. I tried using weighted directionality patterns, like using offset, but I never got that to work. So the way you can set this to something like, let's say, custom prefabs, you're able to, well, first of all, you have to move the prefabs into your mod. So I'm going to real quickly copy some prefabs from my previous mod, the Gem Spider Realm, right? You go in here, you copy prefab, make sure it's uppercase. I'm going to copy these prefabs. If I go to Big City mods, my Big City fragment mod, paste the prefabs in here. You'll see now if we go to assets, here are my prefabs. I will go ahead and load one up. For example, we have this hand thing. And the way, ain't no way this cactus is just broke. Okay. Anywho, if we go into weighted path, what we're able to do is, I'm fairly certain it starts with the first thing. So if I put Kaplan gem and then a slash, there we go. And you will watch as it makes the structures. Alright, and if you wanted to add more, what you're able to do is, like this is my working solution, but there are some issues with it. Instead of Kaplan gem, we will have Kaplan gem loot. Or not Kaplan gem loot, sorry, Kaplan gem special. And if I set it to 1.0, you might realize that there is one, a lot of these, two, even more of the loot chests underground. And it has some, I believe it has something to do with the ordering, and it's trying to place two props on top of each other, basically. So that's why underneath all these props there's the loot chest that you would typically find in the structure I built. But that's besides the point. What you can do is make this like a really low number, and you'll watch as they suddenly become incredibly rare. I'll look underground. There's all these chests everywhere. I don't know the exact fix. But as we can see here, really rare structure, just a singular thing. Alright, so you might notice that if you break down into the ground a bit, we have multiple layers of grass. And that is not cool. Everybody prefers a little bit of dirt beneath their grass. So what you're able to do here is look for this Q material provider. How it works is the highest element is the one that happens first. So what we want is a space and depth material provider. I'm gonna move this. So constant material provider just gives this block with no condition. This one, however, will give it the condition where it is depth into floor 1. And then we throw in our layers, which will put a constant thickness of 1 into a constant material. That material being soil grass, right? So it'll first try this first. If it's not depth into the floor 1, it'll instead use this instead, right? So we're gonna make this soil dirt. Now, if I save that, wait for it to reload, we now have dirt below the surface, just like that. Now you can play around with these however you wish. Yeah. To change, real quickly before I forget, to change the tint of the grass, you have to go into tint provider, constant tint provider, and then throw in a color code. So I'll put in whatever color code that is. And now it is blue. That's cool. So yeah, that's really it. Bye bye.